Hello and welcome back to Walk Wild. Thank you for your questions. This is going to be the 6-month Q&A about the Pan American Highway and van life. Most of your questions were wildly inappropriate and extremely personal, but in any case, we've written them all down. We've added a few extra of our own, but mostly they are questions that you guys have asked. And a lot of them are not related to van life at all, but let's get going.
I think I'll start us off.
Okay.
With questions. Who's the better cook?
Me.
Taylor?
That didn't take long. Well, van cook or cook in general?
Well, I'll leave that to you.
I think you've been complimentary of the van stuff. You said a couple of things I cooked have been good.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to say me. Worst thing about van life?
Parking. Absolutely hate parking. It's finding a campsite.
Yeah, both.
It's
They're kind of the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah. You can't just go anywhere. So sometimes it's just a real hassle.
Yeah.
Have you had a crash?
Well, kind of, I guess. When I backed the van over a rock when we were trying to escape from the bandits.
Oh, I remember.
They were well, that was the license plate. So I crossed the license plate and we were trying to escape the bandits in the middle of the night. And of course, our van doesn't have a parking light on it, so I was backing up to try and get down out of the road and backed up over a rock.
No reverse lights, so yeah.
Does any part of you miss working?
Initially, yeah. I think there comes like a point if you do 2 weeks of travelling and you haven't really done anything productive, you think, oh, maybe I'm just bumming out too much. But now that I'm doing the English course and when we work on the video stuff, we feel productive. But it does happen. You do miss work. Sometimes it gets to a point where this isn't just travelling for fun, so you need to be doing things. So yeah, I do miss it. What is the stupidest thing you've done on the trip so far?
Oh, I get angry when I do stupid things. Nothing comes to mind which makes me think I'm just being arrogant. Well, I'd say the stupidest thing we've done is not checking the VIN number. That was the first thing that came to my head when we bought the van, not double checking it.
Yeah, okay, good. That's actually a logical stupid thing.
Yeah.
That's really going to hurt us.
Really screwing us up.
Potentially ruin the trip.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
One place you visited you recommend for other people to go to?
Well, I always like places which aren't too touristy, that aren't heard of. Go to Slab City, stay at Moto's camp, because that is a different kind of world.
You recommend that to other people?
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that to any of my friends, they'd be terrified, sorry guys.
Yeah,
They wouldn't handle it.
Yeah, that's
Too
the
extreme.
thing. If you want to see different lives and different parts of the world, we were there on New Year's Eve, and my God, that was something that I just could not foresee. What was the best road you've driven on?
Well, immediately what came to mind was the Californian coast north of San Francisco, probably. Because that was, the dream I had when we were planning this trip was arm out the window, sun, beach, coastal road in an old school van, listening to Neil Young. And that was exactly what happened. That long road outside of San Francisco, we were just coming coast for hours and hours and hours with Neil Young, Bob Dylan, driving our old Chevy. So that was the sort of moment in life that you dream about. Actually,
It was also just like those cliff drives me out.
Yeah. So that's probably my top.
That's definitely the best.
Describe the trip so far in one word.
Chaos. Absolute chaos.
I was going to say challenging.
Who wears the trousers?
Alright, Christ. Well, now we're definitely going to think we're gay. That's a question you ask in relationships.
It happens.
Okay, well, probably me because I organise everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is funny because it brings us to the next question of have you brought any girls back to the van?
No. Zero. What do you dislike about van life?
Lack of washing, I'd say. I can put up with being away from home, not having my own bed, not even that much of my own personal space, but one thing I really hate is not being able to shower. Also, this relates to the question you asked before, which someone did ask as well. Are you in a relationship with your van partner? So are we gay? Someone asked.
No, we're not gay. I think my mum wants me to be gay. But no, I'm not gay.
Okay. Neither am I. Okay.
Which was the best sunset on the trip?
There was actually one in San Francisco that probably had the most amazing colours.
Ooh, yeah.
We were camping out on the beach, and I remember it was just the sky was split into these like 3 amazing bands, like deep red, orange, rushes more than the pink, and then around to like purple. I thought that was absolutely extraordinary. Worst thing about Mexico, one word.
Corruption.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Corruption, yeah.
Yeah, we've had some pretty horrific experiences.
I was going to say danger, but yeah.
Do you miss England?
No. Not at all. Spent 2 years there, so no, I don't miss anymore. Best thing about Mexico?
It's the language. When you go, I mean, American camping is great, but I love being traveling in countries where they don't speak English. Have you or have we had a fight?
Yeah, we have. We've had probably. Well, the truth is that James and I we never fight as mates. For the 25 years we've known each other, I don't think I can even recall a single fight. And then on this trip, we've had 2 or 3 pretty bad ones, which have all been built up on stress, and all been. So we had one in Canada, which was when it was snowing, it was icy, we were trying to drive at 5 a.m, we were in an illegal camping spot, and we argued. Generally, it's because I'm really controlling and you like to do things differently.
Yeah.
So when things go badly, those are the 2 parts of our personalities that clash.
Yeah.
Okay, beach or mountains?
Beach.
I'm shocked. No, you didn't fall that through.
I mean,
hiking. You don't hike on the beach.
I know, but in a way, I'm a coastal boy. I love the sea, and that's
coast. I guess you're considering coast.
Walk wild. Yeah, mountains are amazing. I love the summit, but at heart, I love the sea. Okay, what do you least like about the other person?
Well, it's funny because it's also probably one of your greatest strengths. So it's a weird one. It's your happy-go-lucky philosophy. So your kind of breeziness, which is what makes you so exciting because you like doing all this, going with the flow. But when it comes to when things need to be serious, it's the thing that drives me mental. And because I'm so everything has to be in order. So when things are going wrong, when things are difficult, and you're sort of like, oh yeah, whatever, it just drives me crazy.
Oh, I know.
Any regrets about the trip so far?
Yes, but no. You don't regret anything because it's such an incredible experience. This is definitely the most interesting time of my life, no matter how hard it is. There's things that we've missed out on. We've had to sacrifice things like Yellowstone and Yosemite. What's the most scared you've been on this trip?
Well, there's a few. One, which has not been documented whatsoever, is when I went to hospital. I was having leg seizures, and we spent 2 weeks being ill. That was too scary to even record, so that's going to be one for the book, that story. And the second one, which is probably one of the scariest moments of my life as well, was when we had the bandits or the military police, whatever they were, trying to break into our van in the middle of the night in Mexico. How long will you be away?
Initially, a year was planned. Now, it could be anything. We're looking at 2 years.
You're right back.
Yes, I'm going back to England. My sister's got a wedding, so I'll be going back to see her. And I'll also be working in England for summer to earn some more money. Just because you touched on it last time, have you been ill is one of the questions.
Yeah, well, yes, I get ill a lot, but again, I don't know, my friends will know this, but I'm a bit a hypochondriac, so I also make myself more ill, often by psychosomatic thought process, but I've had COVID in every country we've been to. I've had COVID 3 times, and I've just kept that under wraps. The worst one was when I was in hospital in America. $3,500 they charged me for 3 hours in hospital.
Luckily you had insurance.
Yes, very lucky.
Luckily you had insurance. What is your favourite wildlife encounter?
Oh, well, the moose in Jasper was really special, just because we got so close to them, and there's video footage of that. But the one that wasn't filmed was the lynx. That was one of the most magical encounters I've ever had because of the way that she looked at us, or he looked at us. And then it was in...
We actually saw 2 lynx.
But there was one in Peruania where we stopped and it looked at us, and it was just almost like it was equals. 3 people at a dinner party, living or dead. Who are they?
James Brown.
James Brown? What, the singer?
Yeah.
I've never heard you listen to a James Brown song in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
The Boss?
Next one. Who else? Top 3.
Leonardo da Vinci.
That makes a lot more sense for you.
Who do I like at the moment? Hitler.
That is so you. James is not a Nazi, but I've seen him watching videos of Hitler's speeches. Just be like, he's a good orator. I'll give it to him, alright? Not a Hitler sympathiser, but a big figure in history. So
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get inside his head. Who's the bigger lightweight?
Me, definitely. I can't handle any sort of drink. I hate drinking. I feel like I've almost wanted to be teetotal, so you drink vodka like water.
I used to.
And last time you told me, you're like, I just love how vodka slips down my throat, sits in my stomach and makes me warm, and I was like, are you an alcoholic? Speaking about like, it's a love. My favourite experience so far?
For me, it's all about relevance, so in the beginning, it's probably the Arctic Circle, but New Orleans,
favourite
jazz bars. What have you missed out on the most?
Yeah, you answered it. For me, it was the really, really sad one was Wyoming, Yellowstone. Because I've dreamed about going there my whole life, and that was a big part of the trip, was always Wyoming and Montana.
What country do you like the most?
United States. I've only been to 3, but hands down, I want to live in the United States. I want to be there for longer. 3 months was not long enough. I could live in multiple cities there. I could hike it. I could write about it. It's one of my favourite places. If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Turtle. Long life. My favourite animal is the turtle. Love them. Easy.
The mother of the ocean, some say.
Do you have any doubts about the trip not being completed?
Yes, there's always been doubts. I mean, I think it'd be foolish to assume it was always going to be easy, but I think there's no doubt that we're going to get to South America in some capacity. Whether or not it's with a van or this van, I think the jury's still out on that one, but I know that we are absolutely going to get there unless we die a nuclear event. Yeah. Or seriously injured. Maybe seriously injured. Sorry if our parents are watching that one. If you could be born in any other decade, what would you choose?
800 BC.
Okay.
Really early on.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, sorry, that's a lie. I know. It would be somewhere in between, let's say, 17th century, and I'd like to be a sailor exploring the world.
Okay, that's a good one.
What national park is your favourite?
Favourite national parks? Jasper in Canada was one I absolutely loved. Extraordinary, really wild, snowy. In the US, I loved Bryce Canyon. I absolutely loved it. I was really ill there, but there's something about it. It had the vastness, the epic scale, the wilderness, but it also had the incredible smaller rock features. And
which one's better, Bryce or
Bryce?
Okay.
Bryce blanketed in snow and red rock is like nothing I've ever seen in the world. It was extraordinary. So Bryce.
Matt's a geologist as well, so he loves good rock formation.
Okay. Are you religious?
I'm a believer, but very far on like things that aren't written in scripture.
Not spiritual.
I mean, I'm more close to believing in aliens than Jesus. I think it's all linked. I mean, yeah, it's
Machu Picchu aliens.
yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Okay.
What do you do to keep yourself entertained whilst driving?
Oh well, music is a huge one. I'm a massive music lover, so we listen to loads of playlists. History podcasts has been big, but often we just talk about anything. Sometimes we spend 3 hours, 4 hours talking about philosophical questions, meaning of life, happiness, biology-related stuff, which movies are our favourite. We talk about systems. We sound like massive hippies. You sometimes ask. James has this theory that I always want to find answers for things, and I want to have meaning behind stuff.
Yeah.
So we often break down what exactly that means.
Yeah.
When you have literally hundreds of hours of driving, surprisingly.
Some good conversations.
Favourite movie?
Moulin Rouge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Straight out.
Yeah, it was my first favourite movie, and I'm a loyalist, so I stick with the original. So Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Other than the van, what is the most expensive thing you have paid for on this trip?
Well, it'd be the camera before the trip, which was for the trip. I guess that's probably would be the big to document it in the right way, photographs and videos. Other than that, it's going to be hotels, stuff, apartments when we're ill, basically. Or we're just exhausted. Best road trip song?
We used to get really pumped up before a hike in Canada, and that was the Dua Lipa Elton John song. Yeah, probably that.
That one?
That one is just the most memorable. Do you meet and socialise with other travellers?
God no. Jokes aside, the van is very different from normal backpacking, and it's in a lot of ways actually worse. I felt like we're really insulated in a bubble. We don't get to actually see culture as much. We don't get to see other people as much because we're like forced to be away from them because of how we park, how we live. Areas that are difficult, like cities and towns, hostels that have parking. So actually, it's a weird one this trip because it feels like I've had the least contact with other travellers compared to any trip I've done before. Roast or a fry up?
Fry up. Full English breakfast for me. Are you ever bored?
No, I don't ever get bored. I know that sounds like a really weird thing to say. I actually have the opposite problem. I always worry that I'm not making enough use of my time in every moment. Again, without going too deep, it's sort of more of an existential thing. I always worry that I don't ever have enough time to complete all the things I want. So in the day,
You're a busy boy.
if I'm reading a book, I'm always like, oh, well, I wish I could be reading this fast and getting more done, and I wish I could be writing, and I wish I could be editing, and I wish I could be making films, and I don't ever get bored. No. It just sounds so pretentious. That's how it is. So you want the truth, but yeah, that's how my mind works. It's constantly worrying. What would your last meal be on death row?
Oh.
So 2 meal questions we've had.
Yeah, a lot of food questions, and I feel like I'm going to do a disservice to this question. Thai green curry.
Okay, Thai green curry. Nice.
How much money have you spent in 6 months?
What, something like 8 grand?
Yeah, between 7 and 8 grand.
Best city of the trip?
San Francisco. I think.
You said you lived there?
I would live in San Francisco. Yeah, great place. Great beach, great city. We loved Alcatraz.
Good food, culture, lifestyle.
Really cool.
Good
really
location in California.
Yeah, really cool. Close contender is Austin in Texas. That was really, really cool.
Austin was amazing.
Yeah.
I think we have the same choice. New Orleans would be then top 3. But I wouldn't live in New Orleans, but it was one of my favourite cities.
Seattle at a push as well.
Yeah.
Best dish on the trip, best food on the trip.
Oh, Austin Steakhouse. The smokehouse.
The barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, again, before this trip we dreamed about lots of things we wanted to do and what would be the best stuff. And the smokehouse in Texas was one of the big things we talked about. And it just delivered and then some. It was unbelievable.
Best barbecue I've ever
It
had.
was so expensive, but it was just an extraordinary experience. This is probably an inside joke from one of the fans. How do you hunt for scorpions?
Oh, how funny, yeah. Lane and Austin, you cheeky devils. We didn't find any scorpions, but it was a really good experience.
So you don't know how to go scorpion hunting?
No, yeah, effectively you just get like a blue neon light and you search under rocks and stuff. What's the ugliest place you have been on the trip or stayed?
I mean, straight away what came to mind were the Canadian cities of Prince George, Revelstoke, Golden. They just were completely absent, whitewashed from culture. You had the mountains and you had like lake, but the actual towns just broke me down inside going to those places. Just like a McDonald's, an A&W, a horrible train track, just like smoky refineries, just like truckers. That's it.
Are there any places in the world you don't want to visit?
Honestly, I was going to say no, was in my immediate answer, because even places that are bad or dangerous have interest or intrigue to me. So I don't think I would even places like North Korea, you know, yes, I wouldn't go there for fun travel or whatever, but I think culturally there's something to be said that I would find interesting to experience. So, if you could do anything differently on this trip, what would it be?
No, I
You wouldn't
hate.
change anything.
I really don't like the idea of changing things.
Okay.
I like it as it is. Yeah, the thing is that you don't want bad things to happen, but you have to have them.
It's all part of it, right?
Yeah. Will you ever get a desk job?
Well, part of me thinks no, I won't, because my dream goal is to be a novelist, and you don't generally work at a desk with other people. But if I was going to continue being a journalist and I wanted to work with a team, a magazine or a newspaper, then potentially, if the novel doesn't work out, me actually being a writer. But I may get bored. I may be 30 and I may not have any retirement package. I may not have any kind of support or.
Will you get bored of traveling?
I don't think I'll ever get bored of traveling, but I may not have it as my main career focus, because I can very much see myself settling down and shifting into fiction and trying to write a novel in a 6-month or 1 year period, or even screenwriting. But that said, I still can't really ever see myself putting on a suit and tie and joining an office job. I just don't think that'll happen. It's just my career may change in some format, but not that drastically, I don't think. Unless it's been run out of money and it fails, in which case I'll have no choice. Okay. So my final question of this 50 question Q&A, 6-month travel, is: has this trip met your expectations?
No. But how can it?
How can it?
Like, no matter what plan we make, that plan just gets thrown out the window. So in a way, expect the unexpected. I thought I was going to be able to do the whole trip with the 2 years work I did, but now I've got to go back and earn some more money.
Well, I think because of how extraordinarily ambitious it is, it could never follow any predetermined ideas. Just because of the scale of it, the expedition. Even if you think, oh, it's probably going to be dangerous, you don't actually. When the dangers actually really happen, you kind of like, well, I did expect that, but I hoped it wouldn't happen.
Road tripping, van life. This is like an automatic expedition, and it's more of a challenge, and that's what I like. Yeah, it's more pushing the boundaries and just the comfort of meeting people, going to a waterfall and having drinks.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect that in the first place, but ultimately the answer is no.
Okay, there you have it, guys. That's our 50 question Q&A, 6-month van life travel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got series 2 of this Pan American highway trip coming out, which is going to be the United States. You can watch series 1, Canada. It's already up on my YouTube.
Yeah, thanks for watching. It really means a lot. So yeah, like and subscribe.
Cheers, guys. See you next time.